Ben Batter was more than a social media creator, he was a voice of optimism, a motivator, and a young man whose presence touched thousands of people across the world. At just 25 years old, his life came to an unexpected and heartbreaking end, leaving behind a wave of disbelief among those who knew him and followed his work. Ben was known throughout Miami's creator community as someone who always brought light to the people around him. He wasn't loud or boastful, he was humble, calm, and deeply focused on helping others succeed. His content, filled with life advice and financial guidance, was designed to make complex things simple. He wanted people to feel empowered, to believe that their dreams were possible, even when times felt uncertain. Through Instagram, TikTok, and X, he reached more than 200,000 followers, but for Ben, those numbers weren't about fame. They were about connection. He genuinely cared about each person who reached out, asking questions about budgeting, motivation, or life. Behind the screen, he was a friend to many. In real life, he was even more than that, kind, grounded, and endlessly giving. When news of his passing broke, the silence that followed online was deafening. Messages of love and disbelief poured in from friends, followers, and fellow creators. His girlfriend, Reem, shared the tragic news through a TikTok post on October 26. Her voice trembled with emotion as she told the world what had happened. According to Reem, there were no signs that something was wrong. They had plans for dinner that evening. Everything seemed normal. Everything felt fine. But sometimes, the hardest truths are the ones no one sees coming. Reem described Ben as the kindest, most caring, most generous person she had ever met. Her words painted the picture of someone who gave his heart fully, without expecting anything in return. She recalled how he would stay up late, answering messages from strangers who needed advice, encouragement, or simply someone to listen. That was who he was, a giver, through and through. Ben's positivity was contagious. He had a way of making people believe that things would be okay, even when life seemed difficult. He didn't just post about money or success, he spoke about balance, kindness, and gratitude. He believed that true wealth wasn't only measured in numbers, but in the quality of life and relationships you build. His audience loved him for that honesty. They didn't see a financial influencer, they saw a real person who cared. Every video he uploaded felt personal. He talked directly to his viewers, as if he were sitting across the table, sharing advice over coffee. That sense of closeness made his passing even more painful for those who admired him. On social media, tributes began to flow in. Friends described him as a light in dark times. Others called him a brother, a mentor, and the most genuine person you could meet. People remembered how he never hesitated to lift someone else up, even when he was busy chasing his own goals. In his videos, Ben often spoke about self-worth. He reminded his audience that failure wasn't the end, it was a lesson. He would say things like, "You're one decision away from a completely different life," and for many, those words stuck deeply. He believed in progress over perfection, kindness over competition, and consistency over luck. That philosophy became the foundation of his online coaching community, where he helped young adults manage finances, grow side hustles, and believe in themselves. Through his email newsletter, he shared insights not just about money, but about life itself, how to stay patient, stay grateful, and stay focused. He was building something meaningful, one post at a time. Reem's message captured that spirit when she said, he genuinely loved every single person he met. Those weren't empty words, they were the truth. To Ben, every conversation mattered. Every smile mattered. Every connection mattered. Friends who knew him personally spoke about his energy, how he could walk into a room and instantly make people feel calm. He didn't need to dominate the space. His presence was enough. He carried himself with quiet confidence, grounded by his purpose. When Reem shared the news of his passing, she did so with courage, even though her heart was breaking. She wanted people to remember Ben for who he was, a person who gave light, not the tragedy that took him away. The comments section of her video filled with thousands of heartfelt messages. People shared how Ben's words helped them through anxiety, through job loss, through self-doubt. Some said his videos were the reason they started saving money or chasing their passions. Others said he reminded them to believe in their own value. Even in death, his influence continues to ripple across the digital world he helped inspire. There is something profoundly human about the way his story resonates, a reminder that behind every screen is a real person with hopes, fears, and battles unseen. Ben's story is a symbol of kindness, authenticity, and the fragility of life. He taught others how to live better, and in doing so, he left behind a legacy much bigger than numbers or followers. He showed that success isn't about wealth alone, it's about the difference you make in other people's lives. Those who knew him will remember his laughter, his words of encouragement, and his belief that everyone has potential waiting to be unlocked. Though his journey ended far too soon, his message continues to live on. Reem, through her tears, thanked everyone for their support and asked people to honor Ben's memory by continuing to spread kindness, the same way he did every day. The world lost a creator, but it also lost a rare soul, someone who reminded us all to care a little more, to give a little more, and to love without hesitation. In a world often obsessed with noise, Ben stood for something quiet but powerful, genuine connection. His legacy will not fade with time. His videos, his messages, and his impact will continue to reach hearts that need them most. Some stories don't end, they just change form. And though Ben Batter may be gone, the light he shared continues to shine brightly in every person who learned something from him, smiled because of him, or dared to dream because of his words. He was, and will always be, remembered as a creator with purpose, a friend to many, and an inspiration to countless more. Rest peacefully, Ben. Your words still echo. Your kindness still moves us. And your legacy lives on.